What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the airport. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here. We are back with a brand new video for you guys. And listen, man, we have a lot to get through in today's video. So make sure you guys stick around till the end. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think of the video. And as always, turn on those post notifications. As you guys can see, we're dropping very consistently, man. It's been like 4 videos in the past 2 days. I'm going crazy right now with it. So I want you guys to show as much love as you guys can, because this is the most important time of the Heat season to me, because it's the off season and this is going to define what's going to happen next season. So we got to talk about everything we see. A lot of stuff we're going to be talking about that probably I don't really want to, but we kind of have to. It's our job, you know. Like at some point in this video, we're going to be talking about Jimmy Butler to Philly. Like, I think that's a bunch of nonsense, but it's still my job to address it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to give my opinions about it towards the end of the video. But the main purpose and the topic of today's video is to talk about Tyler Herro. Just because I feel like this is probably the most people that we've had in the fan base who are on board to trade the man. Like, and I'm not saying that like everybody should be coming at his neck. Like, nah, not at all. I think Tyler Herro is a great guy. I think he's a really good player, but I just don't think that it's going to work out with the Heat, just because, you know, he's had his chances and it just hasn't worked out so far. And I think we could, you know, in the case that we need a championship to make sure that we get one in the Jimmy era, we need to make an upgrade. And our best asset and most tradable asset is Tyler Herro. So for that, unfortunately, to me, he has to go. And I believe a lot of people have the same view. Now, there are obviously some minority people who believe that he should, and that's fine. It's up to you. But in lieu of that, what I do want to do is talk about Tyler Herro's career, his performance. Where do we go from there? Like, you know, the chances of him even being traded, whether I think that he will even move him on or not. Like, we got to talk about all that, because I didn't really make a video about Tyler Herro since the season ended. I kind of sprinkled in my thoughts in here and there in some videos, but I wanted to make a video just so I can solely talk about this topic for most of the video. So yeah, Tyler Herro is a very, very, you know, polarizing player in the Heat fan base. Like, a lot of people like really like him, a lot of people really hate him. Like, and to me, it's not even about any of that. I kind of just judge him based off of his play. I don't really talk about or feed into what he does off the court. That's not really my job. But his play on the court, to me, has been really, really inconsistent for a couple years now. Like, I feel like the most consistent version of Tyler Herro that I've seen in a Heat uniform has been when he came off the bench and won Sixth Man of the Year in 2022. Apart from that, I never really got anything consistent from him on the court. I never really knew what I was expecting, which is why I kept saying in my videos this season, and I've said this a lot of times. I said this even dating back to last year. I said Tyler Herro should be the 6th man of this team. I don't think he should be starting. Obviously, he wants to start. Obviously, Spoelstra wants to, you know, cater towards a young player who's entering his prime, making $30 million. You know, we were able to bench Kyle Lowry, who was making $30 million, but we weren't able to bench Tyler Herro. And the reason is Tyler Herro is young. He's gonna enter his prime, and Kyle Lowry is basically done. His career's almost over. So if you're gonna ask why Spoelstra, you know, wasn't benching Tyler Herro, it's because of that. So even so, I've never really seen any consistent output from Tyler Herro on the court on a game-to-game basis. The other big kind of drawback to Tyler Herro to me that I've kind of been used to over the past couple of years has been the injuries. It's very, very, very telling and apparent that Tyler Herro will miss at least a bit of time every season for some injury, whatever it is. And Tyler Herro has sneakily been one of the least durable players in the league. And that's not an exaggeration. I made a graph about it, and it's on my Twitter if you guys want to go check it out, a while ago, where I kind of talked about and graphed the players who had missed the most time on the Heat since the Jimmy era. And obviously Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler, I was graphing them, and Tyler Herro was missing a ton of time, man. And obviously some of that you can't control. That you can't really control if you like dive for a loose ball and your hand gets broken. Like, last season's injury was a complete like freak injury. That's you cannot blame him. I'm not blaming him at all for getting injured, by the way. Like that's no way, shape, or form what I'm gonna do here. Like getting injured is obviously sucks, and I never want to blame a player for getting hurt. That's some really stupid stuff. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say though that it is becoming an issue. Like it's not his fault necessarily because he can't really do anything about a lot of these, but it's just you instead of waiting for this team to become healthy. Because we've waited for 5 seasons now. Every year somebody has been hurt in our runs. In 2020 it was Bam and Dragic. In 2021 I don't think anybody was hurt in 2021, but we just got swept by the Bucks in that year. In 2022 Tyler was out for a couple of games against the Celtics. In 2023 he was out again for the whole playoffs. And then this year Jimmy was out, Terry was out. Like I'm tired of waiting for guys to just get healthy. I'm tired of waiting for guys to show me that they can stay on the court. Like with Jimmy, it's different because Jimmy just, he takes games off. He rests. He has to he has to manage his body. That's fine. I understand that because Jimmy is 34 years old. He has to take care of his body to make sure that when we get to the playoffs, he'll turn up. And it's worked with Jimmy Butler. He's been turning up in the playoffs over the past 2 years. I have no problem with Jimmy Butler taking games in the regular season off because I know that in the playoffs, he's going to carry our team. I don't know that about Tyler Herro. So when he's missing games in the regular season, I can't be like, oh, it's fine because in the playoffs he's gonna pull through. Because in the past few playoffs that he's played, he's looked abysmal. You go back to this year. Last year he didn't play in the playoffs. That's fine. 2022 he wasn't the same after the 6th Man of the Year campaign. When a lot of people were throwing blitzes at him, I remember DeLon Wright, who's on our team right now, did an exceptional job on Tyler Herro in that first round in 2022. And then in the second round against Philly, they were throwing 2 at him every time. He didn't know what to do. In 2021, Milwaukee completely took him out the game. The best playoff performance we've seen from Tyler Herro in his career has been the bubble. And again, that was a really good performance. From Tyler Herro, he performed really well in that series, a set of series, I guess. But a lot of people didn't know about Tyler back then. He was a rookie. He was kind of this surprise, guy who was just lighting things up. Once teams, figured out what he's good at, what he's not good at after that season, we haven't really seen Tyler play well in a playoff series for a while now. So I can't say regular season it's fine if he's missing time because in the playoffs he's going to pull through. We've seen the evidence from that with Jimmy. He's only had 1 playoff series where he's looked bad in his Heat career. Apart from that, he's been pretty much flawless in the playoffs. Obviously last season in the finals, you would have liked to see him do more, but he was playing on one ankle. Josh Hart took his other ankle out. So, yeah, I'm not even trying to compare the two. I'm just saying, like, people are going to use the example of Jimmy when I bring up injuries. Be like, oh, Jimmy's missed time too. Why don't you say this about him? Because I know that Jimmy, come playoff time, will show up and show out. I don't know that about Tyler. So it's like, what are we getting from you on a consistent basis? How many games are you going to play? And how many good games out of the games you play are you going to give us? Because we don't know that you're going to play every game well. It's been very up and down with Tyler Herro over the past 2 seasons. Some games he looks really good. Some games he looks like the worst player on the court. You just don't know. And which is why I believe this is the perfect time. Now, obviously, I would have moved on from him a couple years ago when we had the whole Donovan Mitchell thing. The KD Donovan Mitchell rumors. I think what was that, 2023 or 2022? I think it was the year after we lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe. I would have moved Tyler Herro back then, just because I felt like it was the best to cash out on him. He just won 6th Man of the Year. I didn't think it was going to be something sustainable that he was going to be able to put up 20, 25 a night. 25 a night on good efficiency, good defense. I didn't think all that was going to come. I just felt like 6th Man of the Year, he was great, but I felt like we needed to upgrade. And, Donovan Mitchell was an upgrade to me back then, and he's an upgrade to me now. Now, the thing is, I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is going to request a trade or if he's going to want out. I do believe that the whole extension thing with Cleveland is going to be a big thing to watch, just because, if he doesn't sign an extension there, he's a free agent next year. So it would be in Cleveland's best interest to move on from him anyway, so that they don't lose out on him for nothing. So I do believe Donovan Mitchell will probably get traded, even if Cleveland wins this series, because they're in a Game 7 with Orlando, which is, I think, tomorrow or a day after. if Cleveland wins this series, they're gonna get spanked by Boston anyway. So it doesn't really matter to me if they lose in round 1 or 2. I do believe Donovan Mitchell is gonna be traded. So the only reason I say this is the ideal time is because Donovan Mitchell is probably gonna be available. But the only thing that's kind of making me wish we moved on from him a couple years ago is because his value was much higher back then. This season, his value is not as high because he's had the injuries concerns. Like year after year, he's been dealing with some sort of injury here and there. So obviously teams are going to not value that. And obviously he's playing the playoffs this year wasn't great. He had one game in game 2 where he was phenomenal. Apart from that, he stunk up the rest of the series. So, and I had people telling me like, oh, he played against Derek White and Drew Holiday. What do you want him to do? If you are a player who struggles against good defenders, then what really makes you special? Like, we've seen players like Tyrese Maxey get all the attention on him for the whole year without Joel Embiid. He makes the All-Star team. He looks phenomenal. You need to take that step, man. He's been in the league for 5 to 6 years now. If he can't score on a good defender, then maybe he's not as good as we think he is. And that's no disrespect to him. But to me, he's just never been a one-on-one. Like, he's never been a player who can, break down a defender. Never. He's never had the handle to me. He's never had the ability to get to the rim or finish at the rim to me. He's always been a really, really efficient and good three-point shooter or pull-up mid-range shooter. That's the two things I believe in Tyler's arsenal that have been great. And I do want to give him the fact that his playmaking has improved a lot. And his rebounding has always been good for a guard. But his ability to break down a defender when he's faced with good defenders has been piss poor. Has been terrible. He does not have a consistent handle. He cannot get to the rim. He does not like to deal with physical defenders. He does not like to deal with blitzes or traps. He doesn't know what to do. He panics. He's not comfortable with the ball in his hands as much as we think he is. Which is why I think that he's an off-the-ball player. He's an off-the-ball, shooter. He's not just a shooter. I don't want to label him as just a shooter, but he's an off-the-ball player to me. And we don't need we could use an off-the-ball player in Miami, but not for that price, or especially if we can, we can cash out on him and get somebody who can play on the ball. Now, the big hope for me was that when Terry Rozier arrived, it would force Tyler Herro to play off the ball more. And he did that for a couple of games. But to me, it's just like, it's getting stale, this whole core of Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler. Like, you've had this same thing running back for 5 years. You need to shake it up, especially, when you have a guy like Donovan Mitchell who possibly could be available. Now, if nobody's available, and if Tyler Herro is back on the team next season, then I can't be mad at the team for not trading him, because it's like, I don't want to just dump him off for nothing. This is not somebody I'm just like, oh, just trade him for a bag of chips. Like, nah. You trade him for somebody who's going to help you. And if Donovan Mitchell or Mikal Bridges or Trae Young or none of these guys are available, then okay, I understand not moving him. But if they are, and it looks like they will be, even like a Brandon Ingram, like, there's really no excuse to keep him on the team to me if these guys are available to trade for. Which is why I believe it's the perfect time to move him on. Like, I just think his value is a little lower now, which is why it's kind of making me a little like making me a little upset we didn't move him on earlier, because his value is a lot lower than it is before, because the injuries, the inconsistent play in the playoffs, the durability, the defense, the handle. Like, everybody's watching the same thing. Like, we know and we've seen that Tyler Herro is not really that valued across the league as much as we think he is. Like, I remember in 2022 when the whole Donovan Mitchell thing was coming out, like, there were reports saying that Utah was valuing RJ Barrett more than Tyler Herro. And like, I'm not saying they were right for that, but I'm saying, like, that's what a lot of GMs around the league think. Like, I know Joe Cronin just did not want to deal with us, but nobody wants Tyler Herro as a centerpiece of a deal for a superstar. They don't think he's as good as, some of our fans think he is. So because of that, you're going to have to attach a lot of stuff with him, like a Jaime Jaquez or a Nikola Jovic or a pick or 2 picks or 3 picks. Like, it's not going to be just Tyler Herro, obviously. But I don't even know if that's going to be enough for Cleveland to take, or any team to take Tyler Herro on. Now, Atlanta, if it's Trae Young, I think we can do that deal easily. Trae Young is already, like, his value's lower as well. They missed the playoffs again. They have to move on from one of Trae or DeJounte. So if we have to, if you have to trade Tyler Herro for Trae Young, it'll be super easy to me. I think they'll take Tyler Herro and a few picks and one of the young pieces. I don't even think we have to give up both. Cleveland's a little tough to me. I think their asking price would be a little higher, but again, I feel like Cleveland is also going to be a team that is going to have to take into account that if they do not trade Donovan Mitchell, they can get they can lose him for nothing, if he doesn't sign the extension. So they're gonna have to trade him at some point. The only fear is that a team can outbid us with Cleveland very easily. Like the Knicks have like 8 or 9 picks, I believe, that they can trade. We have like 2. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying the Knicks are gonna go get him, but I'm just saying because he wants to be a Knick as well. Like, I don't think our assets are as good as a lot of people think they are. But at the same time, it's that you got to make something work. Like whether it's Donovan Mitchell, whether it's a Trae Young, whether it's a Brandon Ingram, whether it's a Mikal Bridges, one of these guys you can trade for. It doesn't have to be all 4. Just pick one and go get them. Like that's all I want this team to do. I just want them to go swing for the fences now. Like just go out there, swing, get somebody. Just go all in. If you fail, then it means at least you went all in. We have no regrets. And I have no doubts that Tyler Herro is going to go to whatever team he goes to and plays well if he gets traded, because he's going to play well, especially if it's a younger team with like zero expectation. Like I believe he'll play well, but I do believe it's worth giving up on Tyler Herro if it means we get better. So that's my take on Tyler Herro. Last bit of news that I want to kind of go through before we end the video. This whole Jimmy Butler thing, like I didn't really want to address it, like because I just thought it was a bunch of nonsense, like the whole Philly and David Aldridge report. First of all, David Aldridge, it's not 2K, bro. I know you come in 2K cutscenes very often where you talk about whatever you talk about, but bro, this isn't 2K. Like he's not going anywhere. I'm like very confident. And this is not coming from any source. Like this is just me talking. Like I'm like 95% sure, at least, that Jimmy Butler will be on the Miami Heat next season. And I'm very sure that he's gonna get his extension as well. Now, I'm obviously not as sure about the extension part, but I'm very sure he's gonna be on this team at least for next season. What happens after that, I'm not sure. But he said that this is gonna be the last team that he plays on. He said that he wants to retire as a Miami Heat player. Spo came out yesterday during the exit interviews and was talking about Jimmy Butler, and that's his guy. He said he's gonna be back for training camp. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that he will be a Miami Heat player. All this Philly smoke or nonsense, whatever's coming out, I believe it's purely driven by Jimmy Butler's agent or somebody around his camp to try to get the Miami Heat to extend him. And it's like, if y'all don't extend me, I'm gonna stir up these Philly rumors and maybe I'll leave y'all. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I think even that might be a long shot that his agent is doing this. I think that's the worst case that's happening right now, is that Jimmy Butler's agent is trying to drive, all these, spin all these rumors to make it look like Jimmy Butler might leave if he's not given the extension. That's the worst case scenario to me. But I think there's a possibility that this has nothing to do with Jimmy Butler or his agent or his camp at all. This is just purely driven by 76ers outlets, or purely driven by the media to just stir up something, because that's what a lot of people just try to stir up rumors during the offseason. That's what they do. So I know David Aldridge works for The Athletic. I'm not saying he's a nobody, but come on, bro. This isn't 2K. Like, he's not going anywhere. I'm very, very confident about that. Philly fans, go after Paul George if you want to, but Jimmy Butler is ours. He's not going nowhere. Go after Pandemic P. He'll suit y'all team. But yeah, man, it's very, very nonsensical to me, the fact that he could even be traded. Like, I don't think they'll do that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Jimmy Butler didn't get his extension, because the Heat would do something like that, or like, Pat Riley did that with Dwayne Wade, I believe a couple years ago, or not a couple years ago, like in 2016. And actually that pissed off D Wade. He left the team, but I don't think that's going to happen with Jimmy. I think they're going to learn their lesson about that. And I think Jimmy, like he said himself, he wants to retire as a Heat. He wants to be here long term. He wants to be here for the rest of his career. This is the last jersey he wants to wear. He said that multiple times. And does he believe that, his personality is going to go well in every team? No, he knows that. He knows that Miami is the right fit. He knows that Miami has the same exact personality as he does. So why would he just leave? Does Philly have that much better of a chance to winning a championship than us? I don't think so. So yeah, that's what I believe, man, about all these rumors and details and Tyler Herro, Jimmy Butler. again, a lot that I went through in today's video, almost a 20-minute video. So if you guys do not mind, please make sure you guys smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 3,000, as you guys all know. Hit that post notification button, and last but not least, please comment down below. You guys have been doing really well with the comments. I do want to pick out a comment for next video that I really like. I'm going to read it out. So if you guys comment down below your thoughts on, Jimmy, Tyler, everything, I will pick out one of the comments for next video. But yeah, man, I'm gonna see y'all later. As always, have a nice day.